Okay, so my name is Magda Gałaj, and I'm going to present the Polish situation. And I would like to start with saying that Poland, similarly to Bulgaria, for example, has been undergoing a lot of changes in the educational system, chemistry including, and I think this process has not finished yet. It's still undergoing some changes, and I would like to start with the chemistry knowledge acquisition, which is actually being discussed very widely and seriously, and that leads us to the important element of the education of the secondary school graduates. So through these reforms, chemistry has been removed from primary schools as a science subject, and it has been postponed. I mean, education of chemistry has been postponed to further levels of education. So we had a little bit of chemistry introduced at the lower secondary level, and then upper secondary levels only. And after the reforms, teachers actually have faced a problem of identifying objectives and implementation of these objectives within the curricula, because they've been given plenty of flexibility, and actually there have been no standards set in order to them to let them conduct their courses according to some principles. So this level of flexibility actually leads us to some problems as far as the exams are concerned at these two levels of education. So as you can see, the main results of the chemical education, this is the main principle after the reform, is to provide pupils with the knowledge to help them properly assess the phenomena in the world and to use them in everyday life. Of course, a very nice target, but how to achieve this? It can only be achieved, and we can come to it only on the basis of introducing chemistry into the classroom, which is based on the solid, reliable, specific and systematic knowledge introduced to the students. And that, of course, needs from the teacher to be able to conduct the classes in a certain way, and to have the opportunity to, of course, evaluate and assess their work, not only through some tools, but also through the students' questionnaires, for example. And another task and objective of the teacher is, of course, to motivate pupils to work, and how to do it properly. So, chemistry teacher in Poland, let us talk about now how to become one. So, we've been, as I said, undergoing plenty of changes, and the last resolution of the Minister of Science and Higher Education, which has been introduced actually last year, and also approved by the Minister of Education, who is responsible for the lower level of education in our schools. They have, I mean, this ordinance, this act actually stipulates some of the standards leading to the teaching profession, not only of chemistry, but in this case I've included chemistry things. Of course, the learning outcomes should be concentrated on the range of expertise and methodology, which is cross-curricular, but it also should contain pedagogical and psychological issues, as well as applications of information technology and the computer use in the classroom. And of course, the most important bit is the foreign language proficiency of our science teachers, which at the moment is not very high. This act also kind of stipulates the duration of postgraduate and undergraduate studies and post-diploma programs, which can help teachers to develop professionally. And very important bit, which has been introduced in this ministerial act, was actually the size and organization of the practical training for the teachers, so that they not only study psychology, pedagogy in theory, but they also have a chance to try these aspects within the classroom to work with the students. So, as I've said, the teacher can, plenty of universities and polytechnics actually introduce this, organize these teacher courses in order to help chemistry students to become teachers. but it's very important to pinpoint that to become a teacher of chemistry, you have to take a course which is a second cycle of studies, and it only happens post-graduate studies. So a graduate of a bachelor degree is not allowed to teach in Poland anymore, to teach chemistry at school. So they, of course, graduates of bachelor diplomas of bachelor programs can end up in industry, but not necessarily at school. And those who take the course includes mandatory training in the following areas. So they have three basic modules which they have to take in order to prepare for this profession. So first of all, substantive education for teaching of the first subject, which means they are able to conduct a course in chemistry. Also, they have to take mandatory psychological and pedagogical education, which lets them understand psychology and of the student and how the student actually develops. And the last one, didactic education, which concentrates on methodologies of how to introduce chemistry to different levels of education. There is also a possibility to become a teacher of chemistry through being, for example, a teacher of biology or physics. So you can do you can have another route, which means you go through this fourth module that you prepare. You do some extra courses and some postgraduate studies or post-diploma courses which enable you to become a chemistry teacher, being, for example, other science teacher at that moment. On this slide you can see some of the training modules and the allocation of hours and the credits allocated for each of these. So these are the, on the left side you can see the modules and how much credit is appointed for that. So it's not only knowledge of chemistry as such, but also how to teach chemistry to different age groups, for example, and how to do it in a really motivating and interesting way through the use of ICT or maybe with the use of the foreign language. The slide here presents the training status of chemistry students in Poland. So, of course, as I mentioned at the beginning, you can take this undergraduate program, which can, on the left side, you can see the bachelor's studies, which are available for the university students. On the right side, engineering studies, which is more oriented for the graduates of technical universities and polytechnics. So the difference is actually the timing, 6 and 7 semesters, and the allocation of hours and ECT TS points for of course, the course. And the second cycle program of postgraduate education, the one, so the prerequisite to undertake this course, you have to be a bachelor degree holder or an engineer degree holder, and as I said at the very beginning, only finishing this course enables you to become a qualified teacher of chemistry. Without that, you just are a graduate of chemistry and you end up in an industry rather than at school. So, a good teacher of chemistry, after these reforms, should, as you have on the slide, should have the knowledge of chemistry in accordance with the curriculum and content of these subjects. Should, of course, should be able to deepen and update and integrate his knowledge and, of course, develop professionally. Also should be able, and this is a very important point, to support intellectual development of students, and should be able to work with talented students, gifted students, as well as those who need special help, for example, but need to take the course in lower secondary schools because this is the curriculum obligation. And of course, a very important bit has to be able to use technology in the classroom and knows a foreign language. And the last bit, which is critical here, as I said at the beginning, wants to continue to develop professionally. And that leads us to in-service teacher training. So what it looks like in Poland at the moment is all the courses, trainings and workshops are actually optional. So no one is actually forced to do that. This is a kind of whoever develops professionally is interested in a better position at work, because we do have these 4 levels of teacher qualifications, and the novice teachers have to progress through 4 stages to become a diploma accredited teacher. So only those who are interested in upgrading in their teaching career, actually they do take courses and extra trainings, but it's on the voluntary basis. And the second bit is that Poland actually organizes a wide variety of programs available through universities and polytechnics, as well as in-service teacher training institutions, both at regional and local level. And these are actually the most praised and most valuable sources of qualifications for the teachers. So this is something which is very often, if it is longer than, for example, 100 hours, very often the teachers have to pay for that, but sometimes they get sponsored. If not, they have to cover the cost of these programs themselves. And this is, as I said, only something which is chosen by teachers who are really motivated to upgrade in their career. There are also some programs which are run by independent chemistry teacher trainings, but they are usually less valuable in terms that the teachers get certificates, maybe not diplomas, just certificates of attendance, and this just confirms well, their participation in kind of lecture, seminar or workshop, but not necessarily develops them as professional teachers. The really valuable ones actually make teachers develop and put on their hands on how to teach better. And of course, projects like this, chemistry is all around network, give them the ability to share experiences and maybe have personal access to what has already been done around Europe. And this is of course free of charge, so they can do it at home, they can upgrade their knowledge at home. So the conclusions. Of course, the reforms introduced new objectives for teaching and learning. So they were both centered for students as well as the teachers. And especially to teach well, the teacher has to be prepared well. Of course, this pre-service training is available only for the second cycle program. So, as I've mentioned, bachelor degree does not necessarily give you the possibility to teach. Again, in-service teacher training is optional and required only for those who want to develop. Programs and courses are, as I said, available both at local and regional levels. And, of course, the idea that a good teacher should be able to awaken natural curiosity and substances and phenomena in the chemistry, everyday life chemistry. And that would be it. Thank you very much.